Thank you everybody for coming.
Hello, good morning.
It's the first time we have a presentation over coffee, so bear with us, it's a first for us as well. Wake up the mouse. So, we are behind Vlad. Today we are going to talk about... Oh, okay. So, it works better when it's on?
Yeah.
It's on now? No. Okay, so, recap. We are behind Vlad, and today we are going to talk about various things. A lot of them are obvious, like I'm sure everybody knows them, but we'll just go over them again to let them sink in. Vlad is riding the motorcycle to the left, the yellow Suzuki V-Strom 1000. He's been riding like since he's 13. He's not too old now, but
Something like that.
it's a lot of time.
Thank you.
And in all honesty, I think he's the best non-professional rider I know. Like honestly, he's godlike.
I'll go bring you a beer.
Yeah, thank you. Like this was it all along.
Yeah. Hey, Mihai. Everybody knows Mihai, I think. motorcyclingTO. Like, share, and subscribe. So he has a orange, I think, KTM. Yeah, you know, the bikes that everybody says that they break. No KTM brakes. So yeah.
It's all a legend.
Yeah, and he has a lot of riding. Although he rides for 6 years.
Just about, yeah.
6 years. But he has a lot of. I think the next one.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, yeah, not the next one.
Okay.
We'll
So,
do
first of all, like, where do riding ideas come from? Like, how do people get inspiration, and what basically motivates them in finding new ideas and new destinations? So, what happened for us at least? A lot of ideas came obviously
drinking.
over beers. So, just to introduce the presentation and get everybody started, let's start by having a beer.
Feel free to grab a beer.
Come on, get everybody fill up.
Come on, drink a beer. It's already 12 o'clock.
We'll have a pause right now, so everybody can get a cold one.
Okay, yeah.
Haideți mă și de afară, luați bere că e gratis, cu gheață frumos, și dați cap.
What's that? Swallow. Twist off.
I was just joking about the presentation over coffee, right?
Please, it will work. Okay. Cheers.
Le-ați captat atenția.
Cheers, guys. Okay. So yeah.
All right.
Just go drink a beer with your riding friends, and always some great ideas will come. We just go drink a beer. How it will be in Bosnia? Ooh, let's see. Something like that.
So usually what we do after going out riding in various places, we put together videos about the adventure, about how things went, what went right, what went wrong, and so on. So we couldn't start the presentation without a short movie.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Hi, Andy.
Always go for
Like, that's my life.
As you can see, we are very good at falling. We are professionals. Yeah, all the motorcycles are okay. Everybody is okay.
No motorcycles were hurt.
Exactly.
We have a lot of spare motorcycles. We change them.
How do you find the oil spills, Vlad? How do you find them? Because
Only the diesel.
oh.
Yeah, very nice, very.
Okay, just a few recap of some of the trips I did. So, right after getting my license, my motorcycle license in November 2012, I went off to India and rented a bike there. So basically, that's when I started riding. It's a great school. Then North Cat, then Georgia in 2016, Mongolia 2017. It's like all the gear at all times. Like this is the picture for that.
The spare bike.
Yeah. And then Bosnia and Herzegovina, and this year we went on the TED in Greece. We're gonna go really quickly because I fear there's not much time left. We're gonna go over some packing things. As you can see, we are expert packers. Some planning tips, some issues we ran into when planning various things, paperwork and so on.
We have more beer, guys.
Yeah, there's plenty. Money and gifts. And some other tips and tricks you might find useful. So, as you can see, the bike is very
Just wait.
Okay, packing.
Pack beer.
Packing is very interesting, especially when you plan a two-up trip. That's when things get pretty complicated.
And big.
So you have to be very considerate about her luggage. This is the first and most important thing. Because otherwise she will be nervous.
Let her pack, and after that you will see how many space you have. And you will just adjust.
You are well enough with your luggage.
Yeah.
So this is her luggage, and then you take your luggage, and it's a first step to a happy trip. Unless you are fat.
Yeah. Her luggage, remember?
You need a special box for the hat.
And this one, it's not the hat of my girlfriend. It's the hat of Adi's wife, which 2 weeks in Bosnia, yeah? I carried it for 2 weeks in my top box. Here, exactly here.
As you can
It
see,
was
that
perfect.
he's not like delivering pizza, he's carrying various
Beers
fashion
and
items.
hats.
It fits you very well.
Thank you.
IKEA.
Okay, tools. Don't carry tools that you don't know how to use. You just carry them. If something breaks, you take the tool. How do I use this? Oh, I don't know. Okay, I use the other one.
But if you find someone who can use it.
He will have them.
Oh, it's good to know.
Yeah. So if you carry a lot of tools and you cannot use it, you just carry weight. It doesn't have a point to do this.
And obviously the must-have items.
Yeah. Duct tape. One beer for you. Okay, something gooey
And zip ties.
and zip ties. Always.
And W40.
Where is the window?
You can find that.
These are items for things that move but shouldn't move.
Okay.
So we are just covering that aspect.
WD-40 you can find in any gas station. So
Not really.
Not in Romania.
yes, you
Just
can.
try Lukoil. No, they do not have.
Look away.
Gas station.
Yeah.
A must-have, and you should always carry that, is tire repair stuff.
Somebody who can do a tire repair.
Oh,
You should carry somebody who can do that.
it's easy.
Okay, then you should always carry tire repair stuff. Because like the wheels are the most vulnerable part of the motorcycle. Regardless of whether you are going on asphalt or off-road, it really doesn't matter. This picture is done in Mongolia after I hit the barrier, the one you saw in the movie before, and I managed to slash the tire. So we had to completely remove this tire because it wasn't something we could fix with a repair kit. And these ones this is on tent, and this is while we were crossing Siberia, and I had like 4 flats in a day. Various nails, various dirt on the road, whatever. So yeah, just by comparison, while we went in Mongolia, Adrian, the guy I went with, had no flats throughout the trip, and I had 4 in a day. So
He didn't have a KTM, right?
You rode the bush road.
yeah, because it's even more, it's even harder to believe that I had flats on that because the front wheel is narrower. So statistically, you have less chance of hitting something.
Nails
So
like KTMs.
yeah,
We learned
So-
yesterday.
must be a thing.
So he had 4 flats in a day. I ride for 20 years. I only had 2 flats. So I don't have a KTM, maybe.
That is what.
There is a fancy here.
The next item on the to-pack list, especially if you are traveling to whatever, to the east, to places with dodgy fuel,
Bucket.
is a very small fuel filter. Like it can save you the trip. Because even if you manage to order the part over there, delivery will take for ages. So it's better to have yours. It's easily replaceable. Like it's doable. You can change it, and it can save you a lot of trouble. Let's say, because you might end up fueling like that. It's a matter of chance.
And maybe there's gas in there.
Some gas, at least. Maybe there's some right here at the top, and the rest is water. So you just fuel for a bit and then change the bucket. So a few tips about packing. Always leave the dog at home. Like don't take the dog with you. Usually I split the baggage in 3 main categories, like the tools and the camping stuff, which always remain on the bike, like I don't take them to the room or take them to an accommodation. And then there's clothes and electronic stuff I need to charge, stuff I need to sync, whatever. And it's very nice to have them clearly separated. Like for example, the camping stuff might include some clothes for sleeping in the tent when it's cold. They might include like the headlamp, and things go into different buckets. Then this is another thing I noticed, that usually when you pack and unpack things, you notice that you don't need that often certain items, and usually they sink to the bottom of the panniers or the bottom of the top keys. Usually that's a way of prioritizing what you need to get to first, and it's a good mental note of what you might have left home.
Your luggage at the bottom, wife's luggage at the top.
And the head at the very top. Rain gear should always go behind the head. So usually you need that readily available, put it on unless you're wearing a climb or something more elegant. But rain gear should be very easy to get.
I put my rain gear outside because you just keep it outside. If it will rain, it will be on you. So I don't put it inside the luggage.
Outside as in the small
On
bag?
top of, no, outside the bag. Just
What
remember,
it gets wet.
it's on you.
And a rule of thumb, like heavy stuff for repairing the wheels, for I don't know, a compressor, whatever, as low as possible. So put them in the panniers as low as possible. It helps with the center of gravity, and you wouldn't want to put, I don't know, tire levers in the top keys. Just put them as low as possible in the bike. Alright, now a few words about planning. This is a photo we took while we were waiting for the ferry to cross the Caspian Sea. So as you can see here, these are our registration plates right after we got admitted. Like we were, whoa, we are crossing. Because the thing with that ferry is nobody knows when it comes and leaves. It just leaves when it's full. So you don't know, there's no fixed schedule. So just getting admitted is a big feat. And we did it. There's the proof, and this is like a random error. So when planning for visas, especially if you are doing a longer trip and you need more visas and you need to have them for specific times, always overlap them for a bit. Just allow for the unpredictable, allow them to give yourself some time to cross. Because, for example, in Russia, you have, I guess in most countries in the East, you have a fixed number of entries and a fixed number of exits from that country on a visa. So you can't just cross the border back and forth. Once you're out, you're out. You need a new visa to get in again. So that adds to the complexity of planning the visas. Always have backup plans, like we saw in Greece, for example, blocked roads, all kinds of delays, breakdowns, things like that. If you are a very strict planner with the intervals, things like that will really throw you off course. They will anyway if you have to waste a lot of time. So when we went, for example, to Mongolia, we were about to exit in Russia. It was the Nadan period. We knew about that. The border was closed for a few days, but there was also the presidential election happening in that period, and it was a tie in the first round. So they had to organize a second round, and they closed the border for a full week because of that. So that was completely unpredictable. So we had to waste like a full week waiting for the border to open. And going through the other border was not an option because it would have taken us more than a week to do the round trip. So yeah, things didn't happen. Nobody knew about that guy. And by the way, the new guy in the presidential election won. He beat the 13-year former president, and they have a new president.
But
So it doesn't
when
say.
we don't need visas, we don't have a plan.
Yeah, so we can just
go with the
do you
flow.
have a marker so we can cross this off the screen? Another thing, another funny thing actually I noticed is, for example, if you ask somebody for direction or for advice about a particular road, the one you're about to take, what the locals think is usually, at least in Mongolia, they all drive like these Chinese small bikes. So they are all kind of riders. But when you ask them and they see you with a big loaded $1,000 bike, they all tend to overestimate, like, if I can go on that road with this thing, like, it's very easy for him to go, look at the bike he has. And they'll just go, oh, it's okay, go through there, no problem. And yeah, take this kind of advice with a grain of salt, like, is the road open, blocked or not, is a yes-no answer. How hard it is, yeah, it might vary a lot. So, and another thing, which is very useful, especially when traveling to this kind of remote places, always try to look up or reach out to the local community there, to the local riders, because they can provide a lot of tips. You have local contacts, you have somebody who speaks the language. If you are in trouble or need help or need a spare or need to have some beer with somebody, they are easily relatable. Moving to one of the favorites, money and gifts. So this is actually a thing I learned in a training at work. Like, it was this kind of compliance training where you should know what to do, what not to do. So never ever pronounce the word bribe. Shh. You can use like a special text, like, can I get an emergency text? Can I pay it with you? Can you help me move faster? Is there any text I can pay? Wrap it like that, because using that word is very likely to get you into trouble, even though they can relate to what that means.
You get in trouble and after that they get your money.
Yeah, they'll get your money anyway. So always, if you need to show yourself willing to pay an extra tax,
Be diplomatic.
and you don't need a receipt, don't get it. But make it clear that you don't need it, so if they are like this, they make the point.
But we never did it.
No, it's just for the guys who, I know.
I heard from a guy.
Yeah, a friend of mine. This one is pretty dodgy and it kind of relates to the first one. So, before leaving to Mongolia, I got a different set of driver's license and...
We have police here or no? Okay.
The thing is, it gives you an extra leverage when negotiating. So, not to mention if you lose one of the licenses, you have the other one as backup. So that's something to keep in mind. It's very easy to do, and it might get you out of.
Usually, if you go east, because
Yeah.
west, no.
It's not that effective in the west. So in the east, get duplicates, whatever. And obviously, do not keep the money in one place. You don't want to be pulled over and have like a wallet full of money. Just keep a small amount there so you can show it, you can take out your IDs, you can be as transparent as possible, but pack smart. And this is an obvious one, have copies of everything you carry, from your passport to your motorcycle registration, whatever. Have copies, very light, and it can help you if you need to fill out, I don't know, border crossing papers, import, export, whatever. Always carry copies. And if you plan to take visas on the road, pack some passport photographs, because it can also save you a lot of wasted time. This is also a one I've done. If it's possible with your bank, have more cards attached to the same account. This also helps you if you lose one of the cards, if you misplace it, if it gets stolen, whatever. So it's very useful to have more cards attached, and if possible, 2 or more accounts you can swap between. But this is with more cards attached to an account is very easy to do, and it's a backup basically.
Thank you. Yeah. As you saw, you crash. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you will crash. Yeah. So don't get very fancy, shiny, because you will crash. Yeah. You can speak for this too. Yeah. When we entered Bosnia, first day I said, I want to leave Bosnia. Because everybody was driving like crazy. We saw, I think, 3 accidents in 2 hours, something like that. And said, oh, okay, it's not safe here. But the second day, third day, everything was nice because you adjust and it doesn't seem so different than your style.
I think the most important thing about this particular point is being predictable. Like, drive in a way the other people expect you to drive. Like, for example, when we went to Georgia, there was like this scenario, like a crossroad in front of you without
Signs?
without lights, just the marking. And we were driving towards it with our bikes. It was me, I think, Adi, a van to his right, and we obviously stopped because there were people waiting to cross. We stopped, I stopped, Adi stopped, the van stopped, the pedestrians started crossing, and guess what? They couldn't see from where they were crossing, they couldn't see the bus coming from behind the van. And the bus just went through them. They kind of stopped like this far from the bus, and we were like, fucking shit, we're not stopping anymore because people can get killed. They don't expect to be given way by cars and vehicles. So there they just wait. Nobody crosses like that. But we thought, let's be civilized. Bad idea, like we never stop, never cease in Georgia. This is one of my favorites. Is like the difference between traffic police and border police. We had in the Mongolia trip we had experience with both. So the main difference between these 2 types of guys is time. So they can both give you shit, like ask for all kinds of taxes, ask for a document, whatever there is, or things like that. But the main difference is time. With the traffic police, if you have another duplicate ID, so you can just say, okay, take my license, I'll pay for the fine, I don't know, I just have this little money in my wallet, I don't have anything else. Okay, write me the fine that I paid, I'm sorry. You kind of, you have a bigger lever to negotiate with them. And if you just play dumb and wait for like half an hour, then they'll say, come on, move on because we are wasting time with you. The thing is different with the border police. Like, they have all the time in the world. They can just wait. For example, crossing from Kyrgyzstan to Tajikistan, the border passes where the famous statue with the... What's that animal called? The husband of the sheep. Let's say that. And that border crossing is at about 4,000 plus meters. The guards go there for like 3 weeks shifts. They sleep there, so they have all the time in the world. Like, they ask for disinfection tax, they ask for the road tax, they give you some printed maps and you have to pay for them. Like, you can't say, okay, I have the GPS. No, you have to take the printed maps. They ask for all kinds of taxes. And you can't really argue with them like you could with the traffic police, because
you can wait for 1 week.
You can't return because you have depleted the visa from the previous country, like you had 1 entry, 1 exit, you can't go back. you are in no man's land, you have to play alone. So, time. This is an interesting idea I found online, I didn't use it. They said something along the lines of having a fake wallet with some random cards in it expired or whatever, and like $5 or something. So in case somebody goes through your luggage or you lose it or something like that, they won't look any further into your luggage and they will just take them. I've never tried it, seemed like an interesting idea, so I thought I'd mention it here.
Or if police wants money, you can show them I have
Take
$5.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you take out the wallet, you should have the IDs in it, because you take the IDs out.
The duplicates.
Yeah, but the idea of the fake wallet
Okay,
is something you can throw
I
away.
want to use the duplicates.
3 wallets.
And this is my favorite tip, like, use it extensively. Always carry luggage straps, like the ones you see here. They are dirt cheap, they pack very well. It's like 20 lei from Decathlon. And you can use them for a lot of use cases, from strapping your luggage to towing your bike to
Your KTM. Yeah.
So with your bike, with the
to towing any
I
bike.
did that. I did that.
No, we towed the V-Strom when it was stuck in the snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long was the strap?
3 meters, 4 meters.
Uh,
I told a guy on the autobahn.
Okay.
I found a guy with a broke motorcycle. I just took out 2 of that and I towed it for 30 kilometers. Yeah. So yeah.
These are very resilient and have a lot of use cases, so always carry them. Of course, you have to remember to carry the duct tape, which in this scenario, this is when we went to Georgia, and this is Vlad's top case. He borrowed it because it was bigger, but it was so big that when I crashed, this pannier came off, and when the bike fell on its side, it was touched here, and the locking system snapped. So I had to put things I don't need in it and just do a permanent lock. Okay, guys, this was it from us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Hai că mai încă gheață, e păcat de Dumnezeu, mă. Auzi, scoatem afară. O scoatem afară.